Well, who hasn't wanted to come on to Kylie? That's what I say. It's that time of the year when we all get to let our hair down, except obviously for Peter Hinson, because he's not here. For some people, apparently this is the highlight of the year, primarily because it's quite possibly the end of mine in total. There's some very odd things going on. Right? Peter Musgrove wants to know why his wife's here. You'll find out, Peter. Last year I invited material, and my did it flood in. There are some people out there with some serious enemies. Everybody's changed at the DTI. I mean, we've just lost count. They should give us an organogram on a weekly basis. They don't bother printing them anymore, they just photocopy them and Tipex out the names. And you remember in the last year we were very fortunate to have Anna Walker present to us, and she's our first lookalike of the evening. You may recognise Anna Walker. Recognise the face? And you recognise the famous Flintstones character that she was. You'll also remember last year at the conference I introduced some of our new staff members, and one in particular, Gail Radgall, was so impressed by the bunch that she quit 3 days later, deciding that she didn't want to spend any more time promoting the wind industry, and she took a job at Wind Power Monthly. Shortly after the conference, our chairman went to America. David was at a football game, 5 rows in front of George Bush, and took this very interesting picture. And it's just one that cries out for a photo caption. And I don't know about you, but this just says to me, transporter beam, and George Bush is saying, Jesus H. Christ, he's here, get me out of this room really quick. Nothing you're going to see tonight is fake, I promise you. This is a genuine letter sent to us by the Environmental Audit Committee. If you look very carefully, you'll see the address. It's the Goodall Chief Executive of the British Wind Energy Association, the Cabinet Office. You'd think Enercon could come up with better uniforms for their staff than this, wouldn't you? Alright, one of them's Dale Vince, who's the other one? Serious stuff, Environmental Audit Committee, come and give us evidence. This is a transcript of part of the evidence that David and I gave to the Environmental Audit Committee. Basically, you answer questions from people who have varying levels of understanding. Now, this is highly disrespectful, and bang goes the knighthood I was never going to get anyway. But if you'll allow me the indulgence of putting a completely fake voice on here, here's some of the exchange we had. So, the worst thing, they start off with, we've done some calculations of our own. And this was basically about, what would it take in terms of how much wind would you have to build to meet 50% of the government's target and so forth. So he says, this would amount to 1,500 megawatt hours per year. Do you think 1,500 megawatt hours is realistic? Now, you've got the background noise just right. Because this happened just after some other hoolie we'd been at, and so behind me, the great and the good of the wind industry was sitting behind like, go on, die, get it wrong. And there's this, I was just thinking, right, so I said, innocently, in terms of installing turbines, buying time, thinking like, yes, so they come back, sharp as a knife. In terms of bringing that power online and into service, as opposed to bringing it online and presumably not into service. So David says, that is not very much. And yet you've got to, actually, I can hear Andrew go, I hear David go, give me the calculation. David Milner had an abacus, obviously, but I mean, so I said, to me 15,000, thinking it was a typo, right? 1,500 megawatt hours a year. And at this point I'm really thinking, no, I must be wrong. And I'm looking at David, and he's looking at me, and there's that, that smell you get in supermarkets after an old lady's been walking around, that isn't very much at all. It went on, so I've truncated it a bit.
But perhaps we could have a note.
Absolutely. Amazing. January. We saw a new team member join us. Chris Tomlinson, who you'll have met over the past few days, if not his hair. Here he is making his debut in Planning magazine. Do we need a paramedic? Now, one of the mysteries in the office is why Chris? Because we get, there's a lot of stuff you can directly from the website and send us your inquiries and so forth, and by far and away he gets all the mail, right? And we've worked out whether it's page positioning or there's some kind of like little logic loop or something, but no. We figured out something much more simple. Here he is, close up. And we think he reminds people of that lovable young rogue from Rising Damp. Now, I don't know whether you were a big fan of Rising Damp, but if you were, and you can check this, the character played was called Alan. Alan Moore. It really was Alan Moore. But then we thought, no, actually probably not. Let's face it, Planet of the Apes has just come out with a DVD, and maybe it's the younger audience spotting their favourite slave trader. First brown envelope. This is allegedly taken as an Umwelt contour site, and absolutely not a very crude attempt at nicking some wire. Scottish Power kindly invited me to an opening one of their wind farms, another one of their wind farms anyway, and very thoughtfully, mindful of the new airline regulations, presented all of the people who'd flown up for the day with an 8-inch long steel letter opener. Spring came and boy did it get hot. It was Marcus Trinick hot. The Hot 100. A popular lawyer. I mean, that's a bit of a turbine in one of my presentations. I tend not to read too much. Shortly after then, in came the emails from the members, right? The funny emails, including my favourite, which was one from Peter Hunter, who said, "I wonder if it might benefit from a course of Viagra." Here's the business card of the Indian equivalent of Mere Silverman. And Soren Krohn, who some of you may know as my opposite number in the Danish Manufacturers Association, pointed out to me that he actually took that picture and they're in name Micon 750s. This is a screen grab of me on that boat off Blackpool. And this is me before the makeup. August, we put in a new phone system. We're now putting in a new set of options. Press button 1 if you're a student wanting us to write your bloody dissertation. Obviously, press 2 if you're David Williams. Press 3 if you've invented a new type of wind turbine. And we offered a new slogan to our colleagues in that other technology. Nuclear power, too cheap to meter, and too expensive to sell. The most recent offshore focus meeting became a legend in its own right when Jeremy Sainsbury shared his fears, and I quote, that my box could be shafted by a mussel. And you see, you don't think I write these things down, do you? But we all went off to Denmark to see a 54-year-old Frenchman noodle away for a while. This is close to an official picture. This is what they wanted us to see. And here's what it actually looked like the next morning. Here we see the managing director of Neg Micon bonding with colleagues from Elsem. If you do a search for Garrett Hassan, just do Gareth Sand, search, right? This is not faked. What it actually says is, sorry, Gareth Sand is a leading international consultancy providing independent expert advice. In the 2002 awards, here's the darts tournament. The winners were NWP, and the team was Mark Ledgerton, Steve Bolton, Martin Moraes, Richard Cutts, and they had a sub, Simon Holt. To make the presentation, I'd like to invite the winners of last year, the mysteriously named Fugro Seacor team. It's a very, very special plate. The darts competition has been running for 20 odd years now, and the original trophy was just too full of names, and so Etsu, having won it by fluke in 1999, actually did something very generous. They put their hands in their pockets and actually did something for the wind industry that cost money. So it's quite fitting. It currently goes back for a year. And we know how much it weighs, so no shaving in it. Well, new for 2002, it was a taking part that was fun, and note also investors who came last. Apparently they had some difficulty harnessing the wind. So the winners for the round Portsmouth race, the Molo Offshore team. Paul, would you like to come up and collect a splendid trophy? This award is generously sponsored by National Wind Cup, and I hope to see this one changing hands several times in future years.
I think we should recognise that Karen Jones of National Wind Power put a great deal of effort into organising a brilliant day of sailing, and I think we should give her a round of applause.
The Developers Developer Award. In alphabetical order, Bob Klingensmith. Bob and his colleagues have actually been responsible for some of the most significant repowering we've seen anywhere in the world so far, and it's something we're going to be seeing a lot more of, and what they managed to do was described by one person as ending the tyranny of WEA, which I thought was rather uncharitable. Next up, Dave Farrier. Right, so that's not Dave Farrier, is it? That appears to be a farrier looking up horses' arse. Dave won last year. Powergen put out a press release claiming that he was the first winner, although David still had won it the year before. So my popular request is the picture of Dave Farrier that everybody seems to want to see every year. There he is. Dave is closely associated with Scrubby Sands. Talk about Scrubby Sands so long, most people think it's built and operating, but it's going to be there soon. But Dave's now heavily involved in the onshore side, and his nomination comes through his sterling work in that area. Next up, Jerry Jewson. Jerry's nomination is quite clearly because of the amazing result of being the first onshore Section 36 consent for Kevin Croyce, but also possibly because he's the most avowedly open developer, says I'm going to get my own island as a direct result of this. He's also involved, as you know, in offshore projects, and he's now branching out, having cracked Wales into England and Scotland. The fourth finalist is Alan Mortimer. Alan is synonymous with the development in Scotland, a huge growth area in the UK, and they have the plans for the largest wind farm on the universe, or whatever it is now. And he's not only content with building a wind farm near a nuclear plant, he's also now doing one on a coal shipyard in the hard bit of Glasgow, which I particularly like. It's going to be the first wind farm to be nutted. So, the four finalists. I think Dave Farrier, if you'd like to come up, you haven't won, that's clear. Dave, if you'd like to... It's not weighted, it's a simple popular vote. Everybody, all the company's membership had a vote, but there was a very clear winner.
Bring back Johnny Hall. Yeah, thanks very much. I mean, obviously, this is a team award. It doesn't belong to an individual. Development is about teamwork. So, yeah, the guys in West Coast Energy and RDC, some of you here tonight, there's Rob, Steve, and Simon. Yeah, well done, guys. This is all, it's all part of yours. And also, we've got some partners involved in this as well. GE Wind, who sort of been pretty patient and kept with us through sort of the ups and downs of the project. So, thanks very much.
We now have a very special award. This is a Lifetime Achievement Award. We don't do these things very often. I'll see if you can guess who it's going to go to. Peter Musgrove. And the reason I chose this picture to put it up, because in a way, what's going on in this picture kind of symbolises the awe people hold him in. If you look very carefully at who's sitting around, there's some very interesting expressions going on, Peter. And I mean, you put your own judgments on what people are thinking, but I'll tell you, that picture's possibly the kindest one you're going to get now. He was BWEA's first chairman, and in fact, I think we can actually show you here. This is his membership form. Fascinating document, but £3. Look at the membership number. He is member 001. Now, Peter's history covers the gamut from academia, research, real engineering development, and now, of course, a very long and successful career, first with WEA, and now, of course, with our good friends, National Wind Power. Here's an early picture. About now, on BBC One, The League of Gentlemen. You look at that picture, and to me it just says Pauline, the rampantly lesbian DSS escort. This, of course, is the Vought. Don't see too many of these around, but they were actually later used in Arnold Schwarzenegger movie, Total Recall. Here we see Arnie posing with an early Vought. But of course the Vought was a dynamic machine, I think that's the correct term, and here we see the Vought deployed, and of course here it was deployed in that very same movie. What looks like a very bizarre rugby game. But again, the detail is where it all comes out. Let's just have a little look at the men in the hard hats. It's Peter on the right, I believe, and who's that on the left? I think you'll find that's Ian Mays. What an amazing moustache. Don't know about you, but it says Village People to me. Here's one of those location stills from Doctor Who. I'm not sure whether it's landed or about to take off. Oh, and here, of course, we see the first artist's impression of what North Hoyle is going to look like. I check before you sign anything, Alan. Just in case he slips them in at the last minute. Peter learned that 2-blade wasn't going to catch on, so he tried his hand at 3-blade machines. This is decommissioning. Yes, here it is. Seen in Amsterdam at some point in the late 70s, judging by the flares. But the bloke at the back, I think he went on to form Windmaster. Another close-up. Another uncanny look-alike here, Peter. I don't know any of you have met Rob Hastings of SLP Energy, but that's a little bit too close for comfort. Sonia, is it something you want to share with Peter now? That father of wind energy taken to its illogical conclusion? Oh, joking aside, you really do hold everybody in this room's respect, Peter. You really are one of the founding fathers of wind energy, not just in the UK but in the world. And on behalf of the association and your countless colleagues and many hundreds of friends, many of whom are here tonight and made a special point of being here, I'd like to invite David Still, who's chairman of the association, to present you with a small token of our estimation and affection, and wish you every success in writing lots of books about wind energy in the years to come.
A few words. I'm speechless, really. Yeah, very much appreciated. It's 28 years since I started in wind energy, and about 1978, I think, BWEA, we kicked off. One or two old colleagues still around, like myself. I've really enjoyed my time in wind energy, and it's really great as far as I'm concerned. You know, we're really starting to move. There's never been a more exciting time in wind energy than the present. A long incubation period, but at last I think we're starting to motor in the UK. Thanks very much to all my colleagues. I think, you know, one of the things I've enjoyed very much is the fact that everyone in the wind business is so motivated. We really think, you know, that we're contributing to something really worthwhile. It's certainly what's kept me going, and I will continue to maintain an interest in wind energy well into the future. But Thanks very much indeed, and I look forward to seeing you at future meetings. Thanks very much, Steve.
Radar. Okay, I took this picture at Holmes Rep. Here's a top tip for anybody from the military here tonight, right? This is the boat. That is Denmark. This is a wind farm. And the MOD don't like me, I wonder why. David Still. Here in Stevie Wonder mode. That's that song, He's a Man with the Plan. Just wish he'd share it with me sometimes. Well, this is a little fact here about AMEC, of course. You know, it's 2000, they were AMEC Border Winds. 2001, they were AMEC Winds. I think they're shortly about to announce that they're just called AMEC. As indeed he may well do, because he has an alter ego. This website. And it's an anonymous mail forwarder. Right? And it says, have you ever wanted to pretend that you were someone else? Well, now you can. It's the wind industry's very own pin-up. And here is that wet look pin-up herself. Our very own Sarah Kidd. I did promise I wouldn't show a picture of you, so I'm going to show two. Forgive my indelicacy, but what is going on here? Dan Pearson? I wish it was. You can forget your 10 million capital grants, you're in, mate. Now, Sarah, of course, well, you don't know much about her really, but she's, you know, she came into our lives a year ago now, was it, when you were fingered by the minister for this, for this position. And of course, Sarah's background was as a fraud inspector in the Dole office. What a fantastic background for this business. I want to say a big thank you to the board and some thank yous to some of the people who do a lot of work behind the scenes, who aren't on the staff or on the board, but actually do a great deal for us. People like Matt Britton, Guy Nicholson, Helen Snowden and others who spend an awful lot of time helping me get at some of the holes I've managed to get myself into. And of course the staff team. Our sponsors are a special company. NWP. I mean, let's just look at who sponsored it last year. And the year before. So it's been great knowing you, Alan. Huge development team now available at knockdown prices. Can we have your laptops? And no, but thank you, Alan. It's the support of the companies we have in membership is enormously valuable to us in every way, and that just made me laugh, and I just thought, no. I was going to go back even further, but I haven't closed yet. It is a privilege working in this business. Corin said it, and I know he means it, and I do as well. We value your support. We do need to know if we're getting it right for you. If there are things that you think we should do and we're not doing, let us know. Write to me, call the team, tell the board, tell us all, and we'll do our best to make sure we give that support to you in your business needs next year. We're growing fantastically. We now have 227 company members. I'm embarrassed that there are people here I haven't yet met. So do take the time tomorrow to find me, or afterwards if you've got a large bloody mirror in your hand, available for me. And we'll spend the time to help you do your bit in this market. If there are things you like, tell us, and tell the board as well. You know, we try and orientate ourselves in the direction that will actually help your businesses grow, and we need the feedback, good and bad, because we can. We've proven over the past few years that a strong association with common purpose and a meaningful voice actually can change the political agenda. There will be thousands of megawatts of wind built in the UK over the coming years, and that's directly a consequence of a uniform industry approach, which I'm privileged to say you've chosen to take through the association. I want that to continue. I want wind to become the technology of choice when utilities look to build generating plant. And my stated ambition is when we see that DTI pie chart appear in a few years' time, and there's that sector there for gas, that sector there for coal, that sector there for nuclear, there's a big fat pie that says wind. And that'll be your business, and it'll be our pleasure.